Welcome to all the students present over in the session. Now, today we are going to continue with the lecture number 4. The topics in the lecture number 4 are decision making process and designing organization structure. The decision making process and designing organization structure are part of important process in an organization. Any decision will have an application at the top level and the middle level. Mostly the decision making process or decision taken does not have that implication at the low level, whereas when we see the decision taken in the higher level, in those areas the application will be such a process that the low level alone are eliminated, whereas the top level and the middle level are involved with the process of decision making. Now, in the process of decision making, as said, the decision making is being taken based upon the calculation of the decision to what extent it is going to imply on the whole organization. So, whatever the decision they have been taking, they do not take confined to one particular department or one particular area. They take a decision based upon to what extent it is been implication to whole organization. Now, that is the level of importance of decision making process. Now, when we say that the decision making process is such an important level, before taking up any decision, we need to understand what are the parameters to be considered and what are the factors to be considered before we take that particular decision. That is the reason we would study in this particular slide about some of the parameters which are important to know about a decision before we start doing the process of a decision making process. Apart from the decision making, the second topic it is designing organization structure. Structure is the flow from the top level to bottom level, that is from top level to bottom level. This is the flow of the structure normally. Why we need to understand the flow of the structure is the reporting person bottom level will be having a superior on the top, and similarly layer they will have one particular person who would be called as a CEO of the organization. Now, the direction of the structure will make us the understanding of the organization more better, and it will also make us to understand to what extent the span is. Span means with related to number of relationship in the organization structure as such. We will see in depth while we go into the slides as such. Now, of the decision making, the decision making definition. What do we mean by the decision making definition and what it is involved in the definition of the decision making is, if we see clearly the decision making definition, it is as selecting a course of action from among alternatives. Please remember, one, it is course of action, and second, it is alternatives. Course of action, the one which we are going to implement in the process. The one which we are going to implement in the process, and the alternatives is what? The alternatives are a number of solutions to one particular problem. Every time the number of solutions are identified, because never the best solution can be implemented by all the organizations, because the solution is been implemented based on the resources available with the organization. An example to this particular process or example to this particular definition. Now, suppose if I want to go for an destination airport from this particular college, I would take three path. One, it is through Sheila Nagar, second it is through Auto Nagar, and third it is through Kormanpalam. Now, this three routes, among these three routes, the most shortest duration path is the known route, which is Sheila Nagar route. But all the resources availability, if it is a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler or a normal walkable process, then that is the best resources. But if the resources which is available with me, that is if it is an 32-wheeler truck Now, in such case, my decision will have a differ. My decision will have a differ means the vehicle which I have 32 wheeler cannot go through the route which is the first route, that is Sheela Nagar. I need to check out the second route, that is through the Auto Nagar. So, based on the resources available to me, the decision taking alternatives would be selected as such. That is the reason why we select the number of alternatives, and among the number of alternatives, the best alternative will be selected based upon the resources available with the concerned organization as such. Now, to have the alternative and to understand the course of action, we are supposed to understand 4 parameters. They are, the first one, that is realize. What to realize? The decision which I am going to take, how extent it is going to impact upon the organization. The decision which I am going to take, how effect it is going to impact on the organization. Suppose if without the process of realize, if I have taken a decision, then there may not be a coordination or a correlation to the decision which has been taken or implemented to the organization. So, to some extent, if I do consider the realize, the decision which is being taken will have an application in the process of the realize as such. Now, after we have done the realization or realize of the problem what we are going to provide the solution, we would be doing the second level, that is the declare the decision. That means the decision has been declared, right, or the decision has been identified as such, or we need to understand the decision furthermore so that we generate the alternatives. So, the decision is being supposed to be declared, that means we are going to implement something or we are going to do something, that is what is the declare the decision. So, as I said that we are supposed to go from this particular destination, that is from this college to airport. Now, that is a decision. Now, the decision making process will go with the number of other solutions or the alternatives as such, but definitely the decision is that we need to go from here to the Visakhapatnam airport. Now, similarly, in an organization, if a company wants to go for expansion, now that is a decision. How and what process it will go, that particular process will be done or selected based upon the generation of the alternatives. So, the second point, declare the decision is the decision will be taken, and that taking up of the decision is what is called as declare the decision. So, selecting the solution will be the next to that, right. So, that is the second point. So, once we have declared the decision, that means we want to go for an expansion of an organization, or say for example, now Visakhapatnam steel plant has gone for an expansion from 3.3 million metric ton to 6.3 million metric ton. That means there is an expansion of 3 million metric ton. Now, this expansion of 3 million metric ton is what is called as a decision. Now, after we have decided it, we would try to understand about generate the alternatives. Now, what is the alternatives for expansion? Where is the resources we need to bring? That means the land resource, the employee resource, the raw material resource, the machinery resources. Now, all these are the resources from where it has to bring as such. So, bringing those particular resources will make the organization to have a better alternative understanding, because we as said that the best alternative cannot be implemented, right. The number of alternatives which are available, among the number of alternatives, one the best which is suitable according to the resources available with Visakhapatnam steel plant will be selected. That is why we call as a generating the alternatives. That means we would select number of alternatives. That process has been done in generating the alternatives, and once we have done the generating the alternatives, we try to commit a resource and act. So, we try to confine or what are the resources are required and what act we are going to implement as such. Now, these are the 4 important parameters for making an course of action and trying to find out the alternatives. So, again making some better understanding over the process, that is alternatives and the course of action. To have a better understanding in both of this, we would try to understand about the realize, understand or declare the decision, and try to find out or generate the alternatives and commit the resources and act as such. Now, all these four will make us to have a better decision making process, right. Now, we will go into the next slide, that is decision making process steps. There are 8 steps in the decision making process. There are 8 points in the decision making process. So, decision making process, as said, the number of 8 points which are there, among them the very first point is identification of decision problem. What is the problem is the first level of identification. Only when we identify that particular problem, we would be able to make the statement of the decision as such. So, once we have made the statement of a decision, that means we have identified the particular problem. To that particular problem, we would have made or defined a particular problem. Now, that particular process is been under the first one, identification of the decision problem. Now, when we identify itself, we would have an understanding that whether the problem is a small level or a middle level or a large level or a very complex level. That will give us the confidence level in terms of taking or making a solution or trying to identify the number of alternatives to the problem as such. So, that is where the first step need to be analyzed more in depth, and while we try to understand more in depth, we will get a better understanding in terms of generating the good alternatives or a better alternatives to the problem which we have seen as such. Now, coming to the second point, after the first one, we have diagnosis and definition of the decision problem. So, what is that? The problem which has been identified, we try to diagnose it and try to define that particular problem itself to understand the problem more in depth level, right. As I said that in case of the Visakhapatnam steel plant, they would like to go for an expansion of from 3.3 million metric ton to 6.3 million metric ton. Now, that is a problem. That means they want to double the current level of production. So, when they want to double the current level of production, they would try to diagnose that what are the actual defects which we have faced in the past level when we implemented steel plant, and what is the current level we are facing in terms of having the similar 100% level of production, and all this process of understanding is what is called as diagnosing of that particular problem as such. Okay? That means the particular we are seeing that as a that decision we are seeing as a problem, and we are studying into that particular problem in depth. That studying about the problem in depth is what is called as diagnosing and definition of the problem or the decision problem as such. Okay? So, once we have done the second point also, we would try to understand the third one, that is the specification of the objectives. Objectives are the one which will clearly make the statement that what the problem is going to do to the in terms of organization, or after the decision has been taken with related to the problem, what way it is going to benefit to the organization. That is what is called as an specification of objectives. Now, once the objectives are being finalized, that the process of the objectives which are been identified, among those objectives, each and every objective would be eliminated which are not much of an importance to the organization. Only few and specific objectives will be mentioned and being monitored and maintained with related to the decision making and how it is been giving an advantages towards the decision beneficiary as such. That is what we call as a specification of the objectives, and remaining which are not very much specified to the problem, which may be which also may be a part of the particular decision making process, but still they are being eliminated. only those which are very much relevant to the particular problem and which will provide more revenue. That is what is called as an specification of objectives. Now, in case of plant, we have an 3.3 million metric ton. Specific objective is to double the capacity as such. Now, that doubling of the capacity, when we say that a specific objective, relevant to that we take the other level of a decisions as such. Now, coming to the fourth point, it is collection of relevant information. So, once the objectives are being finalized, we try to collect the relevant information with related to what? With related to the decision making process or with related to the problem for what we are going to give the decision. So, studying about the problem or collecting the information about the problem is what is called as a collecting of relevant information. And why relevant information? As doubling capacity example of plant, I would try to get the information or only the information which is relevant in terms of doubling the capacity. That means, what level of men is required, what level of money is required, what level of material required, what level of machinery is required. Only the relevancy of the information only will be studied as such. As said previously, unrelated or to some extent related will also be given consideration, but unrelated information will not be given consideration, and completely relevant data will be tried to be understood more better and better to take or to get the best decision to the solution as such. Now, the fifth point, that is search for alternative course of action. Search for alternative course of action. That means, we would not satisfy with only one course of action, we would try to identify number of alternatives. Why? Because one problem identified, if you are trying to identify only one solution, that solution may be suitable to us or may not be suitable to us. Based upon that, we may take a decision which may be a wrong decision in terms of organization. That is why we try to identify number of alternatives of solution, so that among the number of alternatives of solution, we would able to implement one best solution and not one first solution as such. Please understand, again I am repeating, we would be introducing or implementing one best solution, not the very first solution as such. That is why we try to identify the alternative courses of action as such. So, after that, the fifth point, it is the sixth one, evaluation of alternatives course of action. Now, why we do the evaluation? The evaluation is been done for all the alternatives which we have been identified in the fifth point. So, whatever the alternatives are being identified, every alternative is being evaluated. All the alternatives which are being evaluated to understand that which alternative is viable, that means which is possible to be implemented. Now, that implementable alternative only will be normally taken into the consideration, not yet been selected, but they would be taken into the consideration for selection. So, before the selection, we try to evaluate. Under the evaluation, we try to identify all the alternatives, evaluate it and try to see that which is a viable alternative. All those viable alternatives are being identified, and among that viable alternatives, we take the final decision as such, making the final choice. Now, under the final choice, we would have selected one best alternative which is suitable according to the resource which is available with the organization. So, among all the alternatives what we have been evaluated, under all the alternatives which are been evaluated, we have been selected one which is suitable according to the organization or according to the decision what we are supposed to take, considering that particular problem as such. That we do in the step number 7. After this 7th step, we do the implementation of the decision, right? We do the implementation of the decision. So, the decision is been done, and now the final level or the final stage is implementation of the decision. So, we all know that after the implementation what we do, we try to study whether the result of the decision is coming as similar as to the one which is been expected. Is that the result is been coming as similar as to what we are being expected. That is what we do in case of the last point. So, once the last implementation is been done, we see that the expected results are those expected results are been coming as per the decision what we have been thought that it would come in a expected manner. So, after this the decision making process will go to the next slide, that is